Okay. First, let me show our video. Uh, oh my goodness. Okay. So, hold on. Okay, we are live, and I would like to thank my co-host, Lady Elijah, for joining me today. Say hello, Lady Elijah.
Hello, everybody. I'm sorry, guys. Hello, everybody. I'm so glad you all are here. I'm glad to be here. Um, yeah, we just want to start some topics today.
Okay. All right, let me show the video first.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Wanna get you right now. It's take me like heart don't speak so God splash on my brain. Wanna get you down.
Okay. So, what we're going to do this morning is the first subject we're going to talk about is Derek Chauvin, or Derek Chauvin. I call him the cop killer slash murderer of George Floyd. And the second topic will be the cancellation of 6 Dr. Seuss books citing racism. And then we will talk about Jussie Smollett. They are still going ahead with his trial in Chicago, and they want one of his lawyers removed. So you can go ahead, Miss D, and start.
Okay. Well, in the news, of course, they're talking about the third-degree murder charge that they have reinstated for Derek Chauvin, who's the murderer of George Floyd. I think it's a pacifier, you know, and that's what it is, because they still, it's not as if that's the only charge. They still get to consider second degree murder. They still get to consider, involuntary manslaughter. Those are also charges that the jury can consider when deliberating this trial. So, the difference is 10 years to 30 years. So, again, for me, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, it's not a big win. It's a pacifier. Okay, you guys want it in there, we're going to throw it in there. More than likely, the jury is not going to consider it anyway, because of the way the third degree murder charge is defined in Minnesota law. So I don't know. We'll see.
So they'll be able to get a conviction, right?
I don't know that they will.
Whether if it's murder two,
listen,
murder
I don't. It could be involuntary manslaughter. It doesn't have to be murder 2. It doesn't have to be murder 3. It can be manslaughter. I don't know that they will get a conviction. It is Minnesota. It is a very racist police state. So I don't know that they will get a conviction. And with the 6 jurors that they have chosen, there are no blacks thus far. There is only one woman. So again,
And the black man that they're saying, people, well, rather the audience that's listening, he is actually an African man
right.
from Africa, and
He's
they don't think
he's
of
from
us as
Africa.
black.
And I mean, if you know anything about Africans and Black Americans, you know what an African from Africa thinks about us, especially a black man, it's not much. They are as prejudiced against us as white people, if not more.
Okay.
So, you know, I don't consider them black. I mean, I'm sure they do, because they, you know, they determine black to be whatever they want it to be.
Okay.
The people who aren't black determine who is black. That's crazy to me, but that's how it's done. So again, you know, it's not a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal. You know, I think that his family, if that's the charge that they wanted, they may be happy with it. His attorneys may be happy with it. But, you know, my personal opinion, it's just a pacifier when they explain.
Hey, Ebony. Hey, Vernon.
I can't see anybody. Hello, Ebony. Hello, everybody in the chat. You know, once they explain to the juries, when they explain the differences in first-degree murder, I mean, second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and whatever other charge they have going on, manslaughter, when they explain the definition of those laws to the jurors, they more than likely will only consider the much lesser charge. Again, I don't know that they'll get a conviction. I hope that they get a conviction. I don't believe that they will. I hope that they will. I just don't believe that they will.
Hey, Chief Rocker, we're talking about Derek Chauvin, the cop killer murderer of George Floyd. They just put in the third-degree charge back again, and 6 jurors have been charged so far.
Chosen. 6 jurors have been chosen.
They have been chosen thus far.
6 jurors have been chosen. 1 woman, 1 man from Africa, and 5 other men that are not of color. Those are the jurors that have been chosen thus far. They're considering third-degree murder, second-degree murder, and I believe some type of manslaughter charge. I'm not really sure if it's involuntary manslaughter or not, but it's some other type of manslaughter charge that carries about 10 years. Second degree in Minnesota carries about 20, and third degree, I believe, carries 30 years. So that's what we were discussing. I was stating that I'm hoping for a conviction. I don't believe there will be one. That's just my personal opinion.
My opinion is I hope and pray that there is a conviction and that the jury can pick from one of those involuntary manslaughter or murder 2 or murder 3. Yeah.
Well, you know, I don't think any of them are good enough. I don't think any of them are good enough. I would want the manslaughter charge removed completely. That should not even be a consideration. Because at the point someone
Did you want to read Chief Rogers' statement?
Wow, he says, we still ain't getting no love when it comes down to us getting killed. Of course we're not. Of course we're not. And we're never going to. We're never going to.
Okay.
because,
Do I still have the echo in my mic?
unfortunately, I didn't
Is
hear an
the
echo in your
echo
mic.
still in my mic now? Okay, you can continue on, lady.
Unfortunately, I don't think that we're ever gonna have any true justice when it comes to cops killing us or anyone else killing us, as long as we keep killing each other. You can't stand up and say it's not okay for one group when it's perfectly okay for your own group. And I know, don't get me wrong, I know there's an absolute difference between us and police. Trust me, I know that. But you have to look at it the way they're looking at it. And that's how they look at it. Like they got a lot of nerve to talk about police killing when they kids out here shooting up and killing each other over territory they don't even fucking pay taxes on, you know? So it's really sad, but that's what it is. Because trust and believe me, if they do begin to take true action against these officers for killing us, if they really start to prosecute them in the same fashion that they prosecute us, what do you think they're going to do to us when they get back to us? What do you think the punishment is going to be for us when they get back to prosecuting us for the crimes that we commit against each other? If they're going to start holding police accountable, they're going to start holding us at a much higher accountability than the police. It's wrong, it's backwards, but that's what it's going to be. Yeah, Vernon, we do. We need to clean our own plate. We do. That being said, what else did we have? Oh, this cancel culture, Lord have mercy.
Yes, the cancel culture. Dr. Seus has canceled 6 books claiming racism, and it's unbelievable now. Like, we want to just, to me, we want to cancel everything now. It's incredible. So talk about the 6 books and what Whoopi Goldberg said, please. Something's wrong with my mic.
Well, yeah, like they said, Dr. Seuss is canceling 6 books. I don't know which book those are. Some of them I'm sure we never even read before. However, the reason that they're canceling the 6 books is because they're claiming that some of them promote rape culture, some of them promote racism. So they're canceling them. And Whoopi Goldberg made a statement stating that she doesn't think they should cancel everything, which I find quite hypocritical since Oprah was the champion of cancel culture. She didn't stand up there and say don't cancel R. Kelly. She didn't say don't cancel everything when it comes to R. Kelly. She didn't say don't cancel everything when it comes to Bill Cosby. But she's standing up here making a stand for a damn comic book.
Exactly.
Like I don't get that. She's making a stand for a damn comedic skunk. Pepe Le Pew. I like Pepe Le Pew. Why do you have to cancel Pepe Le Pew? Why can't you just say, well, Pepe doesn't do that anymore now that he knows it's wrong? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, really? Because I get that we are overboard with the cancel culture. I get that, and I agree. But you all also have to understand that the way I do agree, with the Pepe Le Pew cancellation, because it does promote or not promote, but it doesn't discourage that type of behavior among our little boys. Because yes, when they're reading and they're seeing cartoons of things that are holding girls down, kissing them against their will, locking them up someplace just because they like them, not allowing the girls to speak, it does send a message that that is okay, that that is normal. I mean, children are children. We as adults can distinguish fiction from truth and what's real and what's not real, but children can't. You know, it's our responsibility to teach them those things, you know? So I do agree with that cancellation. I absolutely do. For me, in my mind, it's no different than you being at school and boys teasing girls and pulling their hair just because they liked it. Oh, well, that's just what boys do. No, the hell it's not. And that's been accepted for many years. And we have evolved beyond that. So we do need to evolve beyond a lot of stigmatisms that, you know, our culture as a generally has been placed in our boys, in our girls, in our children, you know, in the difference in sexes. There, you know, there should be a line drawn. There should be things that are unacceptable. And it should
Correct.
be unacceptable at the earliest age possible. Because you can't correct a lifelong behavior in a couple of days or a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So if kids grow up seeing and imitating and doing, you know, and thinking it's okay and not being taught that these things, you know, this is just TV, it's not real, this is not what we do in real life, and nobody teaches their kids that. My parents didn't sit down when we were watching Bugs Bunny and tell us we weren't supposed to go out and blow up the damn shed. We just
I swear,
watched
cause some
Saturday
of
morning
them,
cartoons.
I swear, cause some of them,
Were the most
right,
violent things there were. They were
the road
extremely
running,
violent. Violent, you know?
violent cartoons.
Oh, you can take it. Hold on. Guys, I'm going to mute my mic. April, can you take over for me? Thank you.
Wow, violent cartoons.
Your blood pressure was high
Yeah.
because you were fired up. I'm gonna take it again.
You can take it again, but it gets high. I just took my blood pressure medication too, or did I?
Excuse us for the interruptions, but Lady Allegiance in the hospital. Our our Wi-Fi, they're working on it at this area, and I'm on my phone, and this mic sounds horrible.
I'm just saying 101 and
I got it's an echo in it. I don't know why. Okay, Miss Margaret states if vigilantes who started war on killer cops with an eye for an eye, wouldn't that stop some of the cop killings if they or their families could be in charge?
I'm gonna take your blood pressure one more time. Okay. Make sure it just looks.
Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry, guys. I had to get my vitals taken.
Okay.
Y'all know I'm still in the hospital. Miss Margaret, if vigilantes started war on killer cops with an eye for an eye, wouldn't that stop some of the cop killings if they or their families could be in danger? Miss Margaret, you is something. Miss Margaret, we can't go around being vigilantes. And no, I don't think that it would stop. I think that it would escalate, you know, further policing on us in our community. Um, you know, yeah, I don't think it would stop anything at all. I think that, again, we have to clean our own plate. No one is going to care about our Black lives when we are out here killing each other. And people don't want to hear that, but that's just the bottom line. You know, we're not, our young men aren't out here fighting opposing gangs of different races. They're out here fighting and killing each other. And we don't protest that, and we don't march against that, and we don't ask anyone to stop that. And we kill more of each other than the police kill us. So if we are crying that our lives matter when we're taking them from our own community, nobody's going to take us seriously. Even though, again, I get the difference. I get that the police are here to maintain order and law and serve and protect. I do understand the difference. But understand, we Black, we've been Black, we always going to be Black, and they're always going to make an excuse to oppress us because we're Black. Thank you. Vernon says, true that we need to lead our children to better standards. We have to. We have to at least show that we're attempting to hold ourselves to a higher standard than we've been allowing. Miss Margaret says, if vigilantes, okay, we read that already. And I don't wholeheartedly disagree with vigilantism. I really don't. I can't say that I'm adamantly against it, because there are some instances where I believe it is warranted. Now, I don't know what those instances are until they reveal themselves to me, because every situation for me, it's an individual situation and it's different. The circumstances are different. The benefits of what you're doing may be different, but I'm not completely against vigilantism. But I think that when you are being a vigilante against the police department, in essence, the government, even if it's just local government, and it's really not, because once, you see how it went when we said defund the police, everybody all over the damn nation got involved in that. And there are far more, the government has far more resources than the Black community. And I would definitely not want to see them use even half of their resources against us in a situation like that. So I wouldn't think that would be the thing to do. I don't think it would be a good outcome. But Miss Margaret, I hear you. I feel like that some days too, Miss Margaret. I really do.
Okay. I also feel as though, I believe in the eye for an eye too, because look at what they did in Dallas a few years ago. But I hope that they find Gary Chauvin, the cop killer / murderer of George Floyd. And yes, that's how I refer to him. Guilty, because they need to start sending a message to the police too that you can't do this. I mean, this has been going on since the beginning of time. Will it ever stop?
And the answer is no. Like, I don't understand why it's so difficult for us to get that message, because they show you time and time and time again that it's not going to stop. And you keep asking the same question and they keep giving you the same answer.
So
No,
I should
it's
look
not gonna
forward
stop.
to them wasting the taxpayers' money, going through a trial, being hypocritical, because they are not going to find him guilty.
I'm not saying you should look forward to that, but you should expect it.
Well, yeah.
I mean, why? You should expect it. You know, because here's the thing. If they find him guilty, it will be for the least charge that is there. And you see, again, that's not justice. That's a pacifier. There should not be more than one charge in that case. You know, they shouldn't get, what do they call it on a test? Multiple choice. They shouldn't get multiple choice. They give them multiple choice.
What you saying a multiple choice. So if they got all these choices they can choose, so they will choose the lesser of sentencing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
If they find him
Because
guilty.
if they put third-degree murder up there and nothing else, there is no way those jurors are not going to look at those tapes, read those statements, listen to all of those standbyers and witnesses begging those officers to get off of his neck, them saying he cannot breathe, them begging, please don't let me die. There is no way there's going to be 12 jurors that say, I'm not guilty. Ain't no way. Remember, it only takes one. There is no way in that I believe in my mind that they would find 12 jurors to watch, and they're going to see a lot more than we saw. They're going to have a lot more evidence than we got. They're going to see a lot more videos than we saw. They're going to hear a lot more testimony than we heard. There is no way that I believe that 12 jurors would sit through all of that and say, all of them unanimously give a not guilty verdict. Because it only takes one to say, So they give them a multiple choice. I'm sorry, say that again.
There are some people that will never find the cop guilty.
I mean, of course there is. There are some people who would never find them guilty. But you have to realize the reason, because there are those people, and because they're going to paint him as a drug addict or by whatever they're going to paint George Floyd as, which should be not even allowed. But the reason that they gave them multiple choice is for those people who don't believe that cops should be convicted are going to convince all the other people to go for the lesser charge. That's why they had a multiple choice going on. So, you know, again, it's a pacifier, you know, because, again, they're telling you we're not holding them accountable. I don't give a damn what you say. I don't care what you do. They are never going to be held accountable as any other citizen. And in my opinion, they should be held at a higher standard of accountability because they are police officers, because they know the law, because their job is to uphold the law. So they should be held at a higher standard when it comes to breaking the law. And that's really what we should be protesting about, marching on, and demanding. You know, because just like there is a separate standard for police officers in everything else, there should be a separate standard of accountability for them as well.
I agree.
And that's what we should be protesting about and demanding and marching for. They are paid by us, by the very people they freaking kill, to uphold the law, to serve and protect. What the hell happened to that? What happened to crime prevention? Does anybody remember crime prevention? They don't serve and protect. What are they protecting? You don't see an officer until the crime has already been committed. So what the hell did they protect? And then they have the nerve to ask you, who's already paying them to do their job, to help them do their job. Like, get the hell out of here. We need the community to be involved. No, you don't. You need to be involved with the community. Because if you were in these communities, if you were patrolling, if you were being just decent human beings, instead of treating people disrespectfully, instead of scaring the shit out of people, you know, instead of disrespecting them, you'd have a much better rapport. So, you know, I think if you look, I would be ecstatic if Chauvin were found guilty of third-degree murder. I would be ecstatic. I'm just skeptical of that because of all of the other turns of events and all of the other murders of our Black men and women at the hands of police officers. Like, I have nothing that makes me hopeful that he's going to be convicted of third-degree murder. Nothing. There's absolutely nothing. How many times have we heard no charges are going to be filed in the case of? You know, like, come on. It's sad. You know, we tend to, as Black people, we need to learn to be more proactive and less reactive. You see, we react when George Floyd happens, when Sandra Bland happens, when, you know, all of them happen. We react. We need to be proactive. We need to act before a Sandra Bland, before a Trayvon Martin. You know, Because when we're reactive, it's emotional. It's emotional for us. It's emotional for everyone else. And what happens when emotions die down? Everyone goes right back to their day-to-day until the next episode.
You are so correct with that.
So, we have to be proactive, and we have to start protesting and marching and demanding before the verdicts that give us no justice, before the next George Floyd. And we have to be consistent and persistent. And we have to take some responsibility. We don't own much of it, y'all. We do not own much of it. But we have to take some responsibility for the things that go on in our community. The things that go on with our children, with our neighbors. We have to take some ownership in that. And we have to figure out what we can do as a community to turn that around. It's not all on us. But there is something that we can do to begin to turn that around. So, if you are really tired, if you are really tired of our people being killed by the police, our people being killed by whomever it is with no justice whatsoever. We don't get any justice when we kill each other. Not in this city. We don't get any justice when we kill each other. 600 and something murders, 44 arrests. What kind of damn justice is that? But they're going to get somebody out here selling drugs. They're going to get somebody out here jacking a car. But, they're not going to get your son or the boy around the corner when one of them kill each other. They're not going to get the person shooting at somebody down the street and kill somebody's kid. They're not going to arrest any of those people, or very few of them. You know why? Because it's us dying. They do not care who is doing the killing as long as we are the ones getting killed. So, we have to be proactive. And we need to stand in our own communities, and we need to say the exact same thing to the people in our communities that we say to the police when they kill us. We have to get them to understand that they need to value their life more than they value whatever the hell they're killing each other over. You know, that's the
Exactly.
conversation. That's the conversation that we need to be having. You know, and when we start to have that conversation and we start to open up others' views and maybe their outlooks, because the bottom line, it is always, guys, it always comes down to the dollar. It always comes down to money. You know, that's the end all and be all of everything worldly. It's always about the money. You know, people aren't out here selling drugs, jacking cars, running scams, sticking people up because they're financially secure, because they're just bad seeds. The majority of people are out here doing that to make money. Why? Because they have no legitimate way to make money and live the lifestyle that they want to live. You know,
I agree.
because why? April Shower says guilty. What's guilty, April?
No, I was
April?
finishing my sentence. I was finishing where I was saying, I hope they find the cop killer / murderer guilty. And I'm just letting you talk because my mic has an echo.
Oh, it has an echo to you. We don't hear echo.
Oh, you don't?
We don't hear an echo.
Okay.
I haven't heard an echo yet. No, other people have told you they don't hear an echo. We don't hear an echo. But you know, it's just we have to really think about the choices that we make in our community and those that we choose not to make. You know, everybody wants to mind their own business. Nobody wants to get involved, but yet you want change. You can't have it both ways. You cannot leave your well-being, your life. You know, you can't leave that up to others. You know, we're always looking for somebody else to help us and save us. That's in our damn hand. We are ours. We belong to each other. We are our people. Nobody is going to look out for you like you. Nobody. The problem is we don't know how to stand together. We are completely inept in coming together and standing together. If we could just do that, there is nothing in this country that we couldn't get done. You know, you can run to the damn poll in millions and millions of people to vote for a damn president that you want. But you can't come together in a community with the people on your damn block to have a meeting. You can't organize anything in your community. And that's really sad. You know, I remember the riots in the 60s and 70s. And I was born and raised and grew up in Wicker Park, Humboldt Park. And back then, there were very few Blacks in that community. And there were even less Hispanics. We, you know, the Black people, the Hispanic people, during those riots, they fought together. They sheltered and protected their children together because it was them after not just Blacks, but the minorities, period. So the minorities fought together. So when I became an adult and had my children, and my sons and my nephews were saying to me, "Oh, we can't go over there." "What do you mean you can't go over there?" It was so foreign to me because this was a community that Hispanics and Blacks fought together to be in, to live in, you know, to prosper in. So to see them divided, it was foreign to me. It was heartbreaking to me because they couldn't speak no English. But if we were out at the park or we were out, you know, back in the day, we had playgrounds and play lots and things. If we were out at the play lot and Mr. Sanchez saw a group of white people coming, he wasn't just going to run and get his kids. He was coming to get us all. You know, and if the riot broke out, they were fighting together. They didn't just shield their children. And the same way with my parents and grandparents. If they were coming down to riot, whatever children were out on the street, they got them, they're in your home. And now we can't even stand and fight for our own with each other. And that just really saddens me. Guys, are we here? April, are you with me? April? If you guys can hear me in the chat, can you just please let me know that you hear me? Because I don't know what happened to April. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. So what I'm gonna call April and see if, because I know she's had some internet issues today. And I don't know if her internet went out. I don't know what happened. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Yeah, I figured that. Okay. Because I didn't know if people could hear me or not. Okay. So the internet did go out. All righty. You okay? Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. I mean, sometimes, some days people don't donate anything. Some days you might get $30 for shit. $30 pay my internet. I'm telling you something, $30 pay my internet. Oh, right. I need to cancel that. Yeah, girl.
Yeah. Wow. Did you still keep the show going?
I did, but I didn't know because then it just cut off.
Oh, okay.
Because yeah, I was still talking until it cut off right when I called you.
All right. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Hey, I don't know what's going on with it.
But you know, that's okay. Hopefully, maybe later we can, you know, we can get back on and finish up later on. But hopefully they liked it, what we did do. Uh yeah. You getting ready to take a nap?
Let me see. My Wi-Fi keeps going in and out. Okay.